What's going on, guys? Sean here, coming at y'all with a quick little video. First, before we do anything, I want to thank all the new subscribers to the channel for clicking that little button. It helps out a lot. I want to thank everybody who's been watching, commenting, liking. You guys have been the best. The channel's growing. It's been very exciting. We're up to like 65, I think. After I sat at 50 for probably like 2 years. It's been demoralizing at times. But seeing this new growth on the channel, seeing things pick up a little bit, it's exciting, and it makes me just want to do more and more and more for you guys. So the more likes we get, the more subscribers we get, the more commenting we get, the more I can do for y'all, the more videos I'll put out. I've said it before, I'd put out 2, 3, 4 videos a day if there was a demand for it. But normally when I put out 2 videos in one day, the second one just gets overshadowed, so there really hasn't been much of a point. With all that being said, again, thank you guys so much. I appreciate y'all more than anything. Today we're going to talk a little bit about Devonta Smith and his extension that's looming. We're going to talk a little bit about Nick Sirianni and the Eagles overall. Just how I'm feeling, how things are going right now, coaching staff. Just an early look basically. So without further ado, let's just get into it. All right. First things first. The most important thing at hand, the thing that everybody's asking, the thing that everybody's waiting for, the Devonta Smith extension. I have seen one report that said 4-year, $98 million. I think that's fantastic. 4-100 is fine too. Give him a ton of guarantees. Hit his 5th-year option and then spread that $98 million out over 5-6 years. I think if you include this year, you could spread it out over like 6 years. So you're paying him $25 million a year over the life of the new contract, but in reality, his cap hit will never be that high, allowing you to essentially keep A.J. Brown and Smitty, hopefully through their primes. Now, I don't know that those numbers are accurate. They haven't even picked up his 5th-year option yet, but I have to feel like something like that is what's going to end up happening. Smitty has not put up the numbers that Jefferson or, some of these other guys have put up. Excuse me. Understandably so, though, considering that he has been a backup to AJ this entire time. So, you can only do so much working as a WR2, while you're trying to get WR1 money. So, I expect them to pay him like a wide receiver 1. I think at some point Smitty will overtake AJ. AJ's style just relies on him being big and physical and fast, and his route running has gotten better and his release is fantastic, but that physical style will catch up over time, and I think Smitty is just a better overall route runner. He's better at protecting himself. Some of his sideline catches are just unbelievable. Some of his diving in the air catches are just unbelievable. Smitty just has a dog in him that not a lot of people have. Like I said, AJ is our wide receiver 1 right now. Not knocking at him at all. Everything he's done for us has been great. Last year when people were attacking him, I thought it was hilarious. You're just trying to drive out your best player again. That's one of those situations. Last year, he was our best offensive player, and it showed when he wasn't on the field. So I think Smitty deserves every penny. You go back to the draft, before he was drafted, I was screaming to, draft Smitty, find a way. It doesn't matter where you take him, just take him. He's not going to disappoint you. So, and that's exactly what's happened since then. So, he deserves every penny. I can't wait for it to be actually put out there, and done, because, he's, 25 years old now, maybe, 24, 25. He's one of those guys, I want to see him here forever. BG, Fletch, Kelsey, Smitty, Jalen, these are all guys that need to be lifers. A couple of them already are, but we need to make sure the rest are too. Second thing I wanted to talk about Sirianni a little bit. I'm seeing a lot of Sirianni hate, and after last year, it's understandable. He did not do what you would expect a coach to do under the circumstances of last year. But something that nobody's really talking about, and a few people have brought up, but I don't think that even they fully understand. Nick Sirianni wasn't brought in because he had a scheme that we thought was going to run us to the Super Bowl. He wasn't brought in because he has all the experience in the world and he knows how to adjust on the fly. Nick Sirianni was brought in because he's a motivator. He is a guy that you can bring in, and he is going to get the most out of your players. When he was brought in, we did not have a lot of talent on this team. We had a few guys here and there, but especially offensively, after the Doug Peterson era, we had nobody. We had Quez Watkins and John Hightower and Jalen Reagor and Dallas Goedert was our only weapon, but then you had nobody around him. It was not an offense that you wanted to be accountable for. We brought him in to motivate, to lift guys up, to basically change the culture of Philadelphia. And Shane Steichen was brought in to be the schemer. He was the guy who was going to scheme you to a championship when you got the talent you needed to make that push. And then Jonathan Gannon was brought in just to basically do enough to not lose games. And that's what he did throughout two seasons. He did just enough not to lose us games until we got to the game that mattered, of course. But his mind was elsewhere, and that's a story for a different day. So, Nick was not brought in to be the guy that, a lot of people think he is. And a lot of people, they want to bring in the schematic guy. They want the guy with the plan, all the best schemes. But the schemes don't mean shit if you don't have someone to get the players hyped. If you don't have someone telling the players why they should be excited, Sometimes people need a pick-me-up, Not every day is sunshine and rainbows. It doesn't matter if you're making millions of dollars, thousands of dollars, tens of dollars, We all have our struggles, and we all need someone who's going to pick the team up, and Doug wasn't doing that before, and that's what we needed. That's what we brought Nick in through the darkest days, and our failures and everything. Nick has found a way to motivate. Nick has found a way to bring these guys back. Last year when the team went to shit, it would have been so easy for one or two guys to be like, yeah, we don't really like Nick anymore. And then, he's not here. He's gone with all the rest of the coaches that got fired. He's here for a reason. The players love him. He got endorsements from all of our top guys. You got to give it time. He has a schemer in Kellen Moore now, a guy who knows what he's doing, can take over the Shane Steichen role. You can even sprinkle a little bit of Shane Steichen in there now because Nick is growing. Nick is learning. You have to fail to succeed. I have no doubt that Nick will just continue to get better. Also, we have a defensive coordinator this year who isn't just going to do enough to barely win games. We have a guy who's going to put defensive players in positions to succeed. Everybody talks about the Fangio scheme, They're always looking for someone off the Fangio tree to bring the Fangio scheme. Jesus. Don't mind me today, guys. Scheme. You got the original guy. You got the guy. You know what I mean? And has his defense been perfect every year, everywhere he's went? No. But is there a clear and sometimes dramatic increase in productivity and overall ranking of your defense after bringing him in? Yes, absolutely, every time. He's been in the NFL for as long as he has because he's good at what he does. I see a lot of people talking about how we should have went younger, and a lot of people that still aren't sure about the scheme, still aren't sure, can he make it work? Guys, Bradbury was an all-pro corner with Jonathan Butthead as our defensive coordinator, all right? Slay, say what you want about Slay and his podcast. The dude performs every year. Every year. He's not a top 10, top 5 corner, like he used to be. He's still top 10. He's still top 10, though. Like, you cannot tell me 10 guys that are better than Slay. You bring back CJ GJ. You got Reed Blankenship. You've got Sidney Brown, who thinks he's going to be ready for the start of the season. We're still bringing in guys. We bring in Devin White. You've got Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, BG, Josh Sweat, Bryce Huff. You've got all these new guys. You've got all these pieces. Just let the man work. Just let the man work. They will make a mid-season trade for what they need, just like the Dolphins did a year or two ago. When they brought in Bradley Chubb, they needed that boost. They needed that help. What did it do? It gave them that little boost. It gave them that help. And then when they lost their pass rushers this year, you noticed it. You've seen a clear difference in his scheme. I don't think we're going to have that problem. I think we have plenty of guys that'll get to the quarterback from plenty of positions. I think you're going to see Nakobe Dean blitzing more. I think you'll see Devin White blitzing more. I think you're going to see everybody moving around a little bit more. And that's a good thing. You know, we have had the same defense forever, and I'm sick of it. You know, let's bring in Vic. Let's see what he does. Give him a chance. If it's horrible this year, I totally understand. Shit can him. Go young. But let's give him a chance. Let's give Nick a chance. Let's stop all this doom and gloom bullshit that we do in Philadelphia. And let's just enjoy the season, you know? All right? We got great times ahead of us. The organization looks great. Coming off of one of the most disappointing seasons I've ever watched personally as an Eagles fan, outside of maybe 2018. Maybe 2018 was more disappointing. I don't know. They were both pretty fucking disappointing, though. So, you know, give these guys a chance. Let's see what they do this year. We got the draft ahead. We don't have a lot of holes right now, so anywhere we draft is just going to be adding strength to strength. So I think we're doing good. And then 31 million, 32 million in cap space right now, 30, 40 million next year. Like, we can make moves. All right, guys? You know, so let's just give it some time. Let's see how it goes. All right, guys, I'm about done with everything. I'm rambling. I'm coughing. I'm sick. I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate you guys so much. I love y'all so much. If you made it this far in the video, please like, please subscribe. Comment down below what you think about this year. Let's do some season predictions, you know, way too early season predictions. How many games y'all think that this team without the draft would win next year? All right, let me know. All right, guys, that's it for me. Fly Eagles Fly. Peace.